Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Turin here, and today, guys, I'm here with the Dawn of War 3 open beta, and guys, we're going to jump right into some quick battles and have some fun for you guys. So let's go ahead here and click on the multiplayer. As you guys can see, the campaign isn't quite available until launch, but we will be doing a playthrough of the campaign once things are up and running. So we already painted our army. In the last video, you guys saw the army painters. We got the Turin's boys ready. I think I actually accidentally changed the name to Mickey D's, so I was going to make like a McDonald's themed army, just make them like all terrible looking with like yellow and red, just all bright. But guys, we're going to play the Orkz. So as you can see here, I have essentially, these are like 3 passive buffs. So these are kind of like doctrines that come out with your army. And on this side, these are elite units that you can summon over the course of the battle. So as you can see here on the side, these are the 3 elite units I've selected. So for example, let's click on one. I have the weird boy Zap Noggin. So he's kind of like a caster. He has some AoE abilities, very, very fun stuff. So, but you can see I can actually switch. So there's the Mad Dread, there's the Beauty Demorkanot, there's the War Boss Gorguts, Big Mech Wazmaka. So there's a bunch of different choices. And right now there's only 5 in the game. But when launch devs come out, I believe it's going to go up to like 15 per faction or something like that. If I'm not sure. Maybe some of you guys have heard more, but I think that's what I have heard. So anyways, you can see at each one, there's kind of a different number in the little purple diamond. So that essentially is the amount of elite points it takes. So over the course of the battle, you get elite points, and that kind of dictates when you can summon them. So you can kind of go with like more of an early game strategy, which I tend to like to do because there are capture points on this game, and it's very, very important to get them early, because if you lose out on those, you're going to kind of start tilting in the other direction, and that certainly isn't good. So he only costs 3. You know, the war boss over here, Gorguts, only costs 4, and then so I usually get those 2. They're a very, very strong early game combo, and hopefully I get a chance to show you guys. A lot of the games end very, very quickly. And I also do have a Beauty Demorkanot. So he's my big gun. He costs 9. So when you get to the late game, this guy's just an absolute destroyer. He has self-healing, a bunch of goodies. Very, very cool unit. So I have my 3 heroic units selected here. So on top of that, you can click on the units, and let's go ahead and click info. So you can see, you can pull up kind of their loadout screen. You can kind of spin around and get some look at the aesthetics of them. Pretty cool stuff. And you can actually read his abilities. So I'm not going to go too in depth. I probably will do like an Orc faction guide at some point, but over here he has several abilities. But what's really cool is he actually has his own doctrines within him. So you get a lot of customization, and as you can see up here, there's like a level up bar. So the more you use him in multiplayer, the more abilities and different kind of aesthetic things you're going to unlock. So there are actually some abilities that you don't have access to, but they affect multiplayer. They're not just aesthetic. So it will behoove you to kind of update these guys as you go along. So very, very cool stuff. So we have him, and he has his own abilities here. You can see he has 2 doctrines, so your elite doctrine. So this one makes it so when he's deployed, Ludas, which are one of the greenskin or orc units, can teleport to the nearest owned WAAGH tower, so it gives you a little bit of mobility and retreat. Very, very cool stuff. So on top of that, I have Beauty Demorkanot, which is like some big kind of meching. Like it's proportionally, it's much bigger than these guys, but kind of just for the sake of the screen, it's kind of been toned down a little bit. But you can see it has its own doctrines here. The one I chose, or the one I have access to, is like a self-heal. So he summons a bunch of goblins with like wrenches who actually heal him. So it's pretty cool. It gives him good sustainability, and he's just so much fun. I hope you guys get to see it in action. So cool. So then, of course, I have the War Boss, who you guys have probably seen in the cinematic. He's pretty neat, but yeah, again, same kind of shtick there. Over here, these are your like army doctrines. So right here, you have like these, and you can see you get different ones for infantry. And guys, there's going to be a lot more of these on launch. I think only show owned. So yeah, I could click that, and it would only show the ones I own. But you unlock several ones as you kind of level up, and that kind of a progression system, which is pretty cool for multiplayer. Then on top of that, you have let's go ahead and take a look, for example. So healing scrap is one I am using. So non-elite units, so boys and just low tier stuff, they heal after looting scrap. So that gives you good sustainability, and you get scrap from WAAGH towers, and you also get it from killing enemy vehicles and structures. So pretty neat stuff. There's some to buff your different kind of mechs and trucks and all that kind of fun stuff. So yeah, it's really really neat. I definitely like the progression system. There's going to be a lot more of these for each faction. So you get to choose 3 of these and 3 elite units. So my apologies for the long-winded introduction. Let's go ahead and get into some quick battles. I feel like that's going to be the quickest way to kind of show you guys the ropes. So I played a few. It's very fun. It's very fast-paced. Granted, the team battles I played a few with Italian Spartacus that you guys will be seeing up on his channel and my channel in the next week or so. Those are much longer. So you see a lot of like bigger units, but these ones are very like quote-unquote micro-intensive. It gets pretty wild for sure, but I really like the greenskins. They have a very, or the orcs, I guess I should say. Any of you guys who play 40k, let me know what the proper etiquette is for addressing them. But I think orcs is probably fine for now. But greenskins or orcs, they have a very, very aggressive kind of territory capture thing. Because the WAAGH tower is a unique building to them. It's kind of like a turret, and it buffs all nearby troops. So you can build the WAAGH tower like very, very deep in enemy territory to kind of block them off, block terrain, and just allow you to secure objectives. And it's very strong. It's very, very strong. So hopefully I get a chance to use it. It also has like a really big buff, so it kind of buffs all nearby troops, giving them attack speed and weapon damage, I believe. And if he's actually deployed, where is he? The War Boss, this guy right here. You can see where's the doctrine I have? So the WAAGH. So Gorgut's present. So when I do proc a WAAGH, it actually heals all my nearby troops in addition to its other effects. So very, very cool stuff so far. So Hopefully we can get some good cockfights in here, guys. I played some earlier. I recorded them, but they were just so one-sided. I was playing people who probably weren't terribly familiar with RTSs in general. So we're playing against Slark Nato and the Eldar. So a very kitey faction, but very, very squishy. So if you can get even like low-tier boys, if you can get them, with their paws on the Eldar, infantry early on, they can do really well. Although the Howling Banshees do good, but those are a tech unit. Like, you have to build an additional structure. Whereas, like, all of your base structures actually have the ability to build, like, core infantry. So, for example, I'm going to be able to build the boys, like, right away, which is really nice because they're incredibly strong, actually. Well, I guess I haven't done too much research, but I've had great success with them. They can fight in melee, they can fight in ranged, but I think most units can do that anyways. But yeah, they seem pretty good. So yeah, hopefully I get to some like endgame stuff though. It's pretty hard to in these one-on-ones. So Italian Spartacus and I again will continue to do the 2v2. So you guys will get to see some big baddies in those games, which will be fun. But looking forward to seeing the progression system and all the different abilities when the game launches. But all right, so we're into a quick battle here. Let's see how it goes. We got the Foul Eldar. Definitely a faction I'm not interested in playing at all. I don't really like kiting factions, or I don't play Wood Elves in Total War Warhammer that much. I don't really enjoy that style. I like more aggressive factions, and the Greenskins or the Orkz are very, very aggressive. Like the way they play, it's just you're just going balls deep 24/7. Like you're not pulling out. You're just getting in there. You're just having fun. So we're gonna give it a try. So I can see his loadouts right now. So he has the two kind of lower end units, or I wouldn't call them lower end, but they're cheaper. This one's like a sniper. She's got some cool kind of mage style abilities. And he does have the Wraith Knight, or the Wraith Lord, I think. Oh, yeah, anyways. So we're going to get our little Gretches. We're going to go ahead and secure this tower up here. And then we're going to go here. We're going to build some boys, get them pathing, and we're going to send them up here. So we're going to kind of like build a WAAGH fortification right here. So the Gretch is basically your builder. It's like this little troll. We need to get these little weasels running up here. So they go capture points for you. And then on top of that, the boys who are coming out are going to be like our forward vanguard. So once they get up here, let's go ahead and set this. We can set our little what is that called? The rally point. So they're going to go. I'm going to put them in control group 1. These guys are going to go up here and capture this. And once these guys get up here, you can actually capture points with like any type of units, which is very, very cool. So we're going to get these guys going as well. And the Eldar troops, you have to be very careful early on because they are somewhat like squishy. They take a lot of damage for sure. So this is a shield generator actually. So if I were to sit there, it would protect those troops. So you can see these guys are securing this. So as soon as they secure it, you can actually leave. So it's secured and yeah, great. So they've done their job. So let's pull them to the front line. What we're going to do is get a requisition going on. So it like upgrades it to allow it to generate resources for you. We're going to continue to get boys. We really want to like secure the middle early and overwhelm our Eldar opponent because if he's not really on top of his micro, he can take a beating for sure. So 1, 2, and 3, we'll put them all in group 1. So now we have hotkeys. So just like any RTS, you can hotkey your groups basically. So great. So we're going to go ahead and get the requisition there as well. And the knobs, we can go ahead and build a listening post soon. So we're going to save up some requisition for that. And let's go ahead and check the middle and see if he's going. The middle is like an elite capture point. So it's pretty prudent to kind of get your paws on that early because it lets you get your elite units quickly. Although it's not like, I guess it doesn't give you your essential resources. So it's not like super important to fight over. But let's go ahead. We almost have enough for a listening post. So let's go ahead and do that. And bam. So we have a forward listening post. So taking the forward objective seems to be pretty powerful. And we don't have enough for this. How much is that? So that's 80. So good. So we got that point. Let's go ahead and see if he's like pressing over here. And the listening post serves as a turret also. So it's going to be pretty good for kind of like defending and whatnot. So good. So we found some Eldar troops. We caught them off guard so we can beat their candy asses right now because the boys are really strong in melee. Oh, and we get a full surround. That's going to be so bad for my opponent. So once we finish here, we're actually going to try and get a WAAGH tower. He throws a grenade, but he still loses so much. So yeah, they took mad damage. So we're laying the smackdown on them. We can switch to ranged right now, so they'll just kind of sit and cap them, and then let's go ahead and run over here, and very, very, very good start. So we're going to go to our main base. We're going to go ahead and build some more Gretchens, which are like your builders, and it looks like he does have some Howling Banshees coming in, so he needs to be careful. He teched a little bit hard, so good. So we're going to kind of finish this structure. We need to finish that. It's pretty important. So let's also upgrade the power, which allows us to get like tanks and different things like that, and also buildings. So we'll kite these troops back, because you see he's like targeting them. We have some in melee, and the grenade was a little off cuff there, which is fine, and we're going to go ahead and build a WAAGH tower over here, which is like a structure. It buffs all our units. It's very, very strong, and you can see the Howling Banshees are taking quite a bit of damage, but so are we. Howling Banshees is very, very tanky in melee. You know, they obviously allow the Eldar range units to do much more work in range. And it looks like we're starting to get through them, but we need to make sure to kind of use our shout here, which buffs these troops and give them some goodies. Let's go to our main base and make sure to keep producing boys. So we've gotten through the Howling Banshees, which are a very, very strong unit. So we want to capture this point and get a listening post down here like ASAP. That's going to be really nice and make it hard for my opponent to contest. So we dealt with the Howling Banshees, which are an expensive unit. So in the WAAGH tower also fights. It shoots. It's really, really good. So let's go ahead and get this listening post here, which gives us another kind of defensive structure. Good, good. So now we have like pretty good control over the middle. We have the elite point, so we will be upgrading it relatively soon. So good. So we got our little Gretches here. This one's building. These guys can go ahead and build a WAAGH hut soon, which will give us like the next tier of infantry. But again, with greenskins, I think it's prudent to use the WAAGH tower and really just try and like overwhelm in that respect. So let's go back here, upgrade the power. We got to make sure to upgrade our nodes. It's I don't know like what the most efficient way of doing it is, but we're kind of getting a hang of it. So we'll get these little Gretches up here and we'll send them to kind of capture this point down here. Because again, I really went for like an aggressive mid push. So let's kind of push in and see if we can like catch our opponent off guard. We're going to go for this this point over here. So good. So it looks like he capped it, but he didn't like build any resource production on it. So what I really want, oh, and he actually has some troops on the high ground. So let's actually get over here. We'll put these guys in control group 1. These guys will capture this. And we should be okay from here. He's doing a little bit of kind of sniped funny business going on, but I would like to get one of my Gretches here. Not this one. Oh, he actually ran a little bit far, but the WAAGH tower, we're a little ways off here. So yeah, my opponent's coming in hot. He's going to kind of get in here and probably go a little bit ham. So we might want to like run actually here. I don't like this engagement at all, but I guess we probably might need to fight it, but we'll go ahead and use the shout, which is going to make our guys a little bit stronger. And if we can get through like some of those Howling Banshees, we'll be in good shape, I think. So we're fighting here, and the control point, we could actually start building a listening post, but I honestly don't think my boys are going to last much longer here. So we're going to kind of run back a little bit and just kind of kite these guys out and just continue to, you know, form ranks over here. So good. So we did get this. Let's go ahead and do this and get a listening post on here so we can't just get it for free. And yeah, the Howling Banshees are really strong in melee, but still I have like defensive structures, so I think we should be okay. It's gonna be hard to tell, to say the least. So we're going to engage on the back line now. We have this other group of boys coming in. So we really need to just defend this listening post, I think. So let's go ahead and try and repair it. And we'll kite back a little bit because, again, it's continuing. Oh, it didn't get finished building. That was a mistake. So we're kiting the Howling Banshees back, actually. So let's kind of keep running them away and just summon some more boys. We need to just, like, get this structure up. Oh, man, and I can't believe I forgot to build that. I forgot to finish it. So I pulled the knobs off, or not the knobs, but the Gretches before I was ready. So big mistake there, guys, but it could be much worse. So let's go ahead and get this little Gretch down here. He did a pretty good job. So we're going to move him up to the middle, and we're able to isolate some of the Eldar troops up there, which is really, really good. So very aggressive fighting right now, but we're getting his troops in melee, which is where we want them. So unfortunately, he might be able to get this point here. And we do have the WAAGH tower, which I got to remember to be using. So we're going to actually use that right now, which is going to buff these troops. And let's kind of see if we can kite them back. But unfortunately, our Gretches do get caught. So let's run them here. We'll switch these guys to range and just have them start shooting with these guys. And we do have enough for more of these as well. So yeah, the WAAGH is going to like buff all of our troops here in just a second, which will give us like a really big kind of power spike in our infantry, although we don't have too many left. So these guys are kind of doing their thing. I think I might get to the elite points a little bit quicker. So let's kind of skirmish a little bit and pull him back to the WAAGH tower. He does have snipers on the high ground, so that's going to be pretty strong. So good. So very, very pitched fight in the middle, but he is pushing on the WAAGH tower, which is very, very risky. So let's get some more Gretches. And did I actually have any alive still? So these ones are still alive, which is good. So he's coming in hot for the hut, but you can see these guys are actually taking a lot of damage from the WAAGH tower. So we're going to go ahead and build a WAAGH hut, which will give us some more kind of elite troops. I wouldn't call them elite, but they're certainly stronger. So we're going to build them right here, and that might be a little bit risky positioning, but let's go ahead and push in here on these guys, see if we can kind of pressure them. And we have some reinforcements coming. We're definitely going to need them. So we do have some boys, which is good. The boys are very strong in melee. They can usually beat the Eldar troops from what I've experienced so far. It's a little bit hard to tell, but you know, we'll see what's going on here. So we'll upgrade this to kind of get additional resources. It's always a little bit of a balancing act, like in terms of you know, being efficient with your upgrades. So he techs harder. I kind of went with more of expansion, you know, an expansion type build, and let's switch these guys to range and just have them start capping some of these very, very squishy rangers. And good. So these guys need to finish this building. Let's kind of keep zoning here. And he did get that point, but it doesn't yield anything until you get like, you know, the real upgrades on it. So good. So we're just going here, and we do have our elite unit now. So we're going to summon him in, and he's very strong. And this will definitely help turn the tide of the battle. So do we want to get more boys? Yeah, they cost 300 actually. So good. So let's kind of press in and see if we can catch any of the goodies here. So we'll recapture this point, and we got to get these Gretches. I'm like, it's so easy to kind of mix them in with your army here. So good. Let's get one more group of boys, and from here we're going to start getting some like more valuable troops. So let's move these guys over here. We'll get my Lord, and he's really good. He's like a caster. Hopefully I can showcase his abilities here, but I don't want to go into that little peninsula there. It's a little bit dicey to say the least. So let's send them over here and see if we can get like some sort of a WAAGH tower action. Oh, so this is good. So we do have some of his rangers here, but they are like using that shield generator back there, so they can just camp in there basically, which is tough. So yeah, how much do we have? So here we have access to the Def Gun Ludas, which are like a ranged heavy weapon unit. They're pretty good for like you know, defending against turtles and like sniping and all those kind of goodies. So we're going to send these knobs over here, and do we have enough for a WAAGH tower? I don't think we do. So let's kind of get them over here. They're not knobs, they're Gretches. I got to get that name correct. So he actually did a really good snipe on me. So right now we need to like consolidate our forces and try and like do a big concentrated push. You don't want to like sit there and play that game with them. So good. So we're going to go in now. He does have his hero. You can see he got a nice snipe on my caster, which is very, very strong. So we're going to push in here right now, and let's keep going, and we can get a teleport going here in a second. So we're going to teleport and then teleport in in and use our splash ability, which is really strong. So you can see it like hits his troops and does some serious heavy damage. So these guys need to get in here. Let's see if we can ninja this point like while we're fighting. So let's pull back here just so we don't get like dragged into the shield generator, and we can get some of these guys soon. 440. Let's go ahead and get them. Great. So they're a strong unit. They have like ranged heavy weapons. They deploy. They have pretty good range, like I've been saying over and over. And we do have some of these guys, so let's get them in here. We got to like constantly be checking for reinforcements. And good. Oh man, he's sniping my little dudes out. So get in there, boys, get in there. Fight the good fight. So I'm waiting for my teleport ability to come up because it allows me to like pressure them like really well. So we weren't able to get that point, which is unfortunate. So let's get another little Gretsch here just to kind of run around and skirmish. And this dude, can we like... Yeah, we have like a relatively even amount of points, but the Eldar are very good at like skirmishing and stuff. So good. So we got our heavy units. We have our teleport up in a few seconds. So we're going to kind of get in here, and you can see my ranged shooters are going to deploy here. So we have a big splash attack, so we need to move him in right now and just get on all these Eldar goodies. Oh, this is going to wreck him. So we hit hard, and just look at that trash canning in the front line. So you need to be very cognizant of that. So we're going to go after his lord right now and just chase, and the shooter boy is making a huge difference in the back line. So good. So we're going to continue to press. Like, he can try and get in the shield generator, but we're going to beat that candy ass. And if we kill that lord, it's going to be pretty bad for him. So we got it. So that's really, really good. So now I think it's the turning of the tide, guys. We're doing our thing, and it looks like he gave up. So get slayed, bro. Get slayed. Oh, that was so good. You know, a lot of people like leave the game pretty quickly in this, but still, I mean, the games are one-on-ones are very micro-intensive. So the shooter boys, they gave us that ranged firepower, and when we got our hero, we were able to teleport in. He has a teleport, which is really nice. And then he has like a big psionic AoE splash attack. So my opponent made the kind of mistake of blobbing up his troops in the front line, and I was able to just like splash burn them all down, which is really, really solid. So who you guys saw there, that was Weird Boy Zapnoggin. He's kind of a mage caster, so similar to like the Librarian or Maka. He can blink in. He also has a scrap bomb, which I didn't get a chance to show you. So it's his other ability. He calls in scrap from the skies, and it just like bombs enemy troops. So we killed his lord there. We were going to probably take his other capture points, and, you know, from there, just push in on his main base. So yeah, well played to my opponent. It was super fun, man. Playing Eldar is so stressful, though. They have all those, like, snipes and just wild stuff going on. So, man, crazy stuff. But hopefully you guys enjoyed that first Dawn of War 3 1v1 game. And let me know if you guys want to see more. Of course, I'm still going to be focusing my channel on Total War Warhammer. You know, predominantly, though. I'll maybe be posting one of each a day, if not heavily focused on Total War. But still, let me know, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and we'll be seeing you guys soon. Have an excellent night, and take care.